There's been a lot happening in the VR space the past few weeks, like the announcement of the Meta Quest 3S, Meta's new AR glasses, the death of the Quest 2 and Quest Pro, RIP, and a whole bunch more. So in today's video, we're gonna chat about it. But first, we've got some tea. Did Meta just apologize to Palmer Luckey? If you don't know who Palmer Luckey is, he is basically the creator of Oculus. And Oculus was then brought out by Facebook/Meta. And then they fired Palmer Luckey. And a little while ago, there was a bit of back and forth on Twitter between Palmer Luckey, John Carmack, who also used to work at Oculus, and Andrew Bosworth, who was the current CTO at Meta. And it's a whole thing, you can read about it online if you want. But today, Andrew Bostank, the CTO of Meta, just straight up came out and apologized to Palmer Luckey. He said, "I want to publicly apologize for my previous comments about your time at Oculus." He then also mentions that he was misinformed and is grateful for his impact on the company. So this is a very interesting turn of events. And to be honest, I'm just surprised that a CTO admitted they were wrong and willing to apologize. It's given me a whole lot more respect for the boss. But all of this happened because of some recent announcements. And last week, I got to attend Meta Connect and experience those announcements in the flesh. And also got an exclusive Q&A with Mark Rapkin, who is the Vice President of all things VR at Meta. It did drop a few bits of juicy news as well. But before we get into that, the Meta Quest 3S is officially announced, and I got hands-on with it. It's basically an upgrade of the Quest 2, or like a light version of the Quest 3, and I totally think they should have called it the Quest 3 Lite instead of the 3S. It sounds very try-hard Apple with that naming convention, but Mark Rapkin did have this to say about it.
Everybody was suggesting light. Why is it not light? Because it does the same thing and it's 100% compatible and it's not worse. The spicy edition.
But the biggest upgrade of the 3S is that it now has mixed reality cameras on the front of the headset, so you can now play all the mixed reality games in full color pass-through. Now, it's pretty much the same as the Quest 3 in terms of the mixed reality cameras, but it does not have a depth sensor, which is used to help with the mapping of the room and the distance from objects. So whether this will affect the experience or not, I don't know. But I will know once I get to do my Quest 3S review, and I'll be testing all the differences between the headsets in depth. Good news for Quest developers though, in terms of the pass-through cameras, they would now be able to access the cameras for game development, which means they can make even better mixed reality experiences by being able to read objects in the room better and design games accordingly. So basically it means we're just going to get some cooler mixed reality games, or it might mean they'll spy on us, I don't know. It'll be a good thing, I'm sure. Now the big controversial thing of the Quest 3S is that it has Fresnel lenses. And yes, it's Fresnel, not Fresnel, as everyone kindly corrected in my last video. So the Quest 3S has the exact same lenses as the Quest 2 and the exact same resolution, which to be honest is kind of disappointing, but the reason they've done this is to keep it cheap. The Quest 3S is $299 for the 128GB model, and to make it that cheap, they had to cut corners somewhere, and I guess that means the lenses. Now, I love the pancake lenses of the Quest 3, but to be honest, the lenses didn't feel that bad on the Quest 3S. Like, it didn't feel as bad as the Quest 2. I guess because of the improved graphical fidelity of the upgraded Snapdragon chipset, it just made everything look better. I even got the opportunity to play the Quest version of Behemoth and previously only played the PC version, and to be honest, it looked really good on the Quest 3S and ran really smooth. I was super impressed. Now I'm looking forward to this game even more. It may even be a game of the year for me, I don't know. Was super impressed with how it ran on the Quest, and I didn't feel like it was an inferior experience at all on the Quest 3S. Some sad news though, the Quest 2 and Quest Pro are officially dead. They will no longer be in production, and it doesn't seem like we'll see another iteration of the Quest Pro at all. In the Q&A with Mark Rapkin, he was asked about the Quest Pro and he said,
"We're not thinking about a productivity line right now. We're just gonna try to keep making our devices more high-end and higher resolution and better tracking and so on, and ideally productivity can be captured in the existing lineup."
He did, unsurprisingly, confirm they are working on a Quest 4, but they don't really know what it looks like yet.
There's always a new Quest. We haven't decided yet if it'll be called the Quest 4, but there's always the next one.
They're always testing and prototyping different designs, and it depends what the market wants that would dictate the future of the headset. But did he just accidentally slip the Discords coming to the Quest? When discussing multitasking, he said,
"Running WhatsApp or Discord on top of whatever you're doing is just a massive hit."
And when questioned about it, he also said,
"Is that a tease or?"
"Working with all the gamer-friendly partners."
Whether this is a sign, I don't know, but I'm hopeful. Discord on the Quest would be really good. I'm really looking forward to reviewing the Quest 3S, but if you have already decided you want to buy one or the Quest 3, I will love you long time if you use my affiliate links because, you know, they help pay the bills. Now, the next bit of news, and probably like the biggest news Meta has had in a really long time, if ever, is that they announced their AR glasses called the Orion. Now, the AR glasses race has kind of been going on for a while, but there's like a few glasses out there that can kind of mirror your display from a computer or tablet, but haven't been too impressive in my opinion. But Meta just straight up dropped a bomb by showcasing some pretty insane tech, and probably the first true showcase of AR and where it's going to go in the future. For these glasses, they've opted for a holographic display, so basically an image is projected onto the transparent lenses, so you can still what you're doing while viewing a holographic display at the same time, which is some real cyberpunk shit. The transparent lenses is made out of a new material called silicon carbide, which is more lightweight without providing any optical artifacts, and size-wise, they've seemed to achieve a pretty small form factor. Like sure, they still look a little dorky, but they look way less dorky than the Snapchat spectacles. But one way they've been able to make the glasses so small is by making all the computing wireless. The Orion has a wireless puck that has dual processors that take some of the load off the glasses while also enabling longer battery life and a lower latency, which is a really interesting approach to it. And to navigate the device, you use a mixture of voice commands, AI, eye tracking, and hand tracking. But I think the most mind-blowing part of the Orions is that it's using a neural interface. It has this little wrist strap thing that picks up the micro movements within your arm, so you can navigate the screen without really having to do much. I think all this mixture of tech of the Orions is really impressive, but we're probably not going to see a consumer version for a long time. I heard some people say the Orions cost $30,000 to make, and then someone else said $10,000 to make, so I don't know what's real anymore. But regardless, I think Meta have really started to show that they do have a clear vision for the future, and maybe they know what they're doing a little bit. Like with the upgraded avatars in Horizon Worlds, Meta's slowly becoming less of a laughing stock. And with their investment into AI and across all of their products, I wouldn't be surprised if the Meta AI becomes the standard AI that everyone is using. For starters, it's free, and almost everyone uses Instagram, Facebook, or Messenger in some regard. And while I don't think it's the most mind-blowing AI, it definitely has the most convenient use cases. And Meta just unveiled their brand new Movie Gen AI, and damn, it's looking pretty realistic. It can generate movies from text, edit videos from text, produce personalized videos from your image, and create sound effects and soundtracks. But like all things AI, I do question the safety and security of these tools. This tool is coming soon, so I haven't been able to test it out yet, but I did get to try out some other Meta AI. While I was in America, I got to wear my Ray-Ban Metas around and test out some of the new AI features. And while it's kind of basic, it's just really convenient. Like being able to record all videos on the fly with a voice command or ask it questions is pretty neat. It's also way less obnoxious than getting your phone out all the time to take photos or to Google something. Hey Meta, what am I looking at?
I'm looking at a workspace with various equipment, including a computer monitor, camera, microphone, and other accessories. There is also a cup of tea or coffee on the desk.
That's cool. And these glasses also have some pretty decent audio, so you can listen to podcasts or take phone calls on them, but it's so subtle that you could probably be straight up talking to someone and they may just be listening to podcasts and not even listening to you.
You have my undivided attention.
They did showcase some pretty cool use cases of these things, like being able to translate a verbal conversation and how it can help visually impaired people. So I'm loving this tech, but also kind of makes me scared for the future. Like it's pretty clear that Meta wants this tech to be the future of iPhones and maybe computers. And while I find that tech all very exciting, like I don't want to be on my phone all of the time. Like the constant notifications and instant messaging already pisses me off. Like I don't want that strapped to my head at all times. Like imagine having that on your face, like all of the time. No, thank you. But we're pretty far away from that, I think. And until then, I'll stay excited and cautiously optimistic. And maybe one day I'll be cool enough to test out the Meta Orions. So let me know how you feel about all the Meta announcements and if you'd like to see more news in this channel, because I'm kind of digging it. So make sure to subscribe so you can catch my Quest 3S video when it drops, and I'll see you next time.